Hey everybody, Superawesome here. I'd like to welcome you all to episode number 36 of my slasher movie archives. In this video, I will be giving my review for Bloody Moon, released in 1981. Don't panic, it only happens once in a bloody moon. Okay, so getting into the plot for this one. Miguel is a horribly disfigured young man who goes on a rampage at a masquerade party and rapes then mutilates a girl. Institutionalized at a mental asylum, he is released 5 years later into the care of his sister, Manuela, who along with her wheelchair-bound mother operates a boarding school for young women. Miguel becomes obsessed with one of the girls at the school, and he wants to resume his incestuous relationship with his sister. Your kiss as cold and icy as death. Your embrace deep as the night. Okay, so getting into my thoughts for this one. This was a first time watch for me, and I have to say it did not disappoint. Oddly enough, with it being a Jesús Franco film, it wasn't nearly as sleazy as I was expecting for it to be, especially when you consider some of the elements to the movie storyline. Don't get me wrong, it's still plenty sleazy. It's just not as gratuitous as some of the other Jesús Franco films that I have seen. To me, the movie's storyline can be summed up with 4 simple words. It's a movie about obsession, paranoia, betrayal, and of course, murder. Bloody Moon is over-the-top, brutal, violent, and gory. The movie score is fantastic, and it really helps blend all of these elements together. I had a blast with it, and it's definitely one that I can see myself revisiting from time to time. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the characters we have in Bloody Moon. The story centers around Miguel and his sister Manuela. They have had an incestuous relationship in the past. When Manuela turns Miguel away, he murders a girl, and then he is locked away for 5 years. He is then released into his sister's care. Miguel has never quite gotten over his desires for his sister and wants to pick up the relationship where they left off. Manuela runs a boarding school for girls for their elderly, wheelchair-bound aunt, who doesn't think very highly of Manuela. She believes Manuela waits for her to die so she can inherit her fortune. But in reality, Miguel is the rightful heir to the inheritance. Now, I should probably mention that I got the plot description for this movie from IMDb, and they list the wheelchair-bound person as Miguel and Manuela's mother. In the movie, the wheelchair-bound person is referred to as their aunt. Now, maybe this person was like a mother figure to them. Maybe she raised them. However you want to take it, the wheelchair-bound person is definitely of close relations. We mostly follow Angela, who has a very awkward first encounter with Miguel and Manuela on the train en route to the school. It's this scene that really sets the tone for Angela's character, because after this first encounter, she begins to fear Miguel and believes that he constantly stalks her. We also have a foreign language teacher. He has some pretty questionable relationships. We also have 2 groundskeepers who are completely different from each other. One of them is a ladies' man and the other one is clearly not right in the head. Overall, I really enjoyed all of these characters, and I really liked how the story set up misdirection with the killer. With the voices being dubbed over, it's really hard for me to judge the acting, but I at least thought I would mention it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the most important part of a slasher movie, that is the killer and the kills. This movie is very unique in how it has the killer set up, and because of that, I really can't say that much about it, because I don't want to give anything away. Of course, the movie has murder, but if you think of the other core elements of the story that I mentioned before, obsession, paranoia, and betrayal, those key elements are what sets up the mystery surrounding the killer. For the most part, we don't really see the killer all that often, and when we do, we don't see him good enough to be able to identify who it actually is. At the end of the movie, we do see that the killer is wearing black pantyhose over his face to hide his appearance. And I also wanted to mention, I really like the Mickey Mouse looking mask that was used earlier on in the movie. I thought that was really cool. And as far as the kills go, in my opinion, this movie has a pretty high body count. It's loaded with fun and over-the-top, brutal, violent, and gory kills. The practical special effects are a little hit and miss for me, but I do admire the effort that was put into each one. We have some absolutely brutal stabbings in this movie. We have a girl who is stabbed in the back, and the knife goes through her breast and exits her nipple. Now, how is that for creativity? Oddly, the body, when it is discovered later on, the knife and the wound are both in different positions. We also have a face burning, a person gets a spike through the neck, and of course we have a decapitation with a very large saw, just to name a few of the kills. So if the cover art has captured your imagination, just know that this movie does deliver. Just keep in mind what I said about the special effects. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It's probably not going to be for everybody, I get that. IMDb give Bloody Moon a 5.2 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Remember, evil never dies, it just rests a while. It watches, it waits. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you have seen Bloody Moon, or just let me know what you think about my review. And as always, I would like to thank you all for watching.